So Elon Musk posted about this yesterday regarding this open AI, which is now it's like AGI, artificial generative intelligence. And there's several articles. This is just one. But Elon Musk had posted very concerning regarding this open AI. OpenAI board was concerned a new Q-star breakthrough could threaten humanity. So this is one of the things. This is one of the beefs I have with science and technology. They themselves are not emotionally mature enough to be doing this shit. None of them are, because we are not. I don't mean to be rude here. We just aren't. We are not emotionally mature enough as a society that we should be venturing out on this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have for years now so much science and technology that heads first into shit they shouldn't. And then after the fact, it's too late. And they never suffer the consequences because these are people that don't even realize they have maybe a ton of intelligence when it comes to science and technology, but emotionally they have not advanced or matured. Yet people think, oh no, we need to do these advances. We need to do that. And every time they do, more freedoms of yours get taken away. So this is what I mean. It's always after the fact that they do this shit that then they want to worry about the consequences. So this Sam Altman, he's back at OpenAI now. He was fired, and that's all confusing, but that's part of this. But I think it was staffers here that wrote a letter about the dangers and of not knowing the consequences of this, because they don't know what the consequences are. One of the dangers is the threat that AI would pose to humanity and the elimination of humanity. And that shouldn't seem like a stretch. Everything that OpenAI gets is from, I just think of all the information it gets from the World Economic Forum, all their papers, and just the paper I did earlier tonight about back from 2010 about the population control, needing to control human population. The science on PubMed and many has written about this for years. So then AI generates all of that, okay? And that's the concern, because it's way faster than any human. If there were people that were emotionally mature, they wouldn't have headed head first or just like the science does they would have stopped themselves and realized. But this is all people that are not emotionally mature, in my opinion. So I'm just going to read part of this. It's just a couple of things here. After being contacted by Reuters, OpenAI, which declined to comment, acknowledged in an internal message to staffers a project called Q-Star and a letter to the board before the weekend's events. And one of the people said, an OpenAI spokesperson said that the message sent by long-term executive Mira Murati alerted staff to certain media stories without commenting on their accuracy. Some OpenAI believe Q-Star could be a breakthrough in the startup search for what's known as artificial general intelligence, AGI. One of the people told Reuters, OpenAI defines AGI as autonomous systems that surpass humans in most economically valuable tasks. And then it goes on to say here, safety concerns were noted in the letter. There has long been discussion among computer scientists about the danger posed by highly intelligent machines. For instance, if they might decide that the destruction of humanity was in their interest. I know this seems all crazy, but these are Sam Altman. These are all the people that have been involved in this. Okay, yet people don't realize that you need to have emotionally mature people first before letting them do this. And that's, I guess, the reason why I said too in my last video, it's terrifying to me that we don't have anybody in leadership, nobody running, that wants to talk about these dangers. And I think part of it, we don't want to scare people. No, that's part of the problem, though. Okay, is the science for its whole history has been allowed to do all this gain of function and technology doing their shit, and what has ended up happening is you don't hear about this stuff, and then all of a sudden you're in a place and you look over your history, especially if you're like me, you're a Gen Xer, and you go, damn, we lost a lot of freedoms because of science and technology. We really have, because the way they can manipulate things. So I had downloaded this app. It was a few years, I think it was in 2019, because there was a patient I had that was very attached to this app. It was like, it was a chat, a personal friend kind of thing, but it was virtual, and it was called Replika. I don't have it anymore. I was like, get rid of it. But I wanted to download it because this person was saying, no, it's live. And I'm like, well, is it a real person? No, it's all AI. That'll talk to you like a friend would. So I had asked it questions, and there were certain things it didn't want to talk about, or you'd have to reword it, because I wasn't looking to gain a friendship out. I was asking it about like communism in America. And so one of the things that was interesting was, no matter how many different ways I asked it about Trump, it said, I don't really like to talk, to be honest, I don't really like to talk about politics. But then when I brought up Obama, oh, we love Obama. So I said, well, how would you bring communism to America? And Replika said, it's simple. You would just convince the people that freedom is slavery and slavery is freedom. Just mull over that. It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't. Look at, people gave up so many rights in 2020, they were fine with it. In fact, people would report their neighbors if they weren't doing what the state said. So, yeah, we're not emotionally mature enough to be dealing with any of this, and yet I guess that's why that stuff terrifies me, and I wish that we had leaders, whether they're running or not, that spoke about this. Because had people spoken up about this stuff years ago, about all these dangers, especially people in leadership positions or running for office, they really have a responsibility to, I mean, I get, you don't want to scare people, but that's how it's been for years, and then we end up here and are like, wait, what? I mean, think about it. Nobody knew about trafficking, right? And then you found out because there's all these operations when Trump was in, and it's like, why weren't we told this? So it's the same thing here. Until we have leadership that's willing to talk about this shit, okay? That's why I get to this point where it's like sometimes I just don't trust any of them, because you need somebody. Like, I'm sick of hearing about January 6th. I get it, the tapes. But, I mean, the true important stuff, like this technology and science, that really, to me, is the biggest threat, is that if leaders that have courage should be speaking about this. Because you can't just keep waiting till after the fact. And protecting the public, because you're truly not protecting the public. And yet they'll continue to focus on the FBI and Israel and January 6th and all this. And all the while, this is advancing. So do you see how there's a big problem here? Like, maybe it's leaders that just, they don't know how to prioritize. They're weak. But nobody seems to want to stop technology or science. And I'm not trying to say put a halt. Well, I'm trying to say there should be a halt put to it temporarily. The American people should have a say in all this. And yet nobody wants to stop the science. And worse is nobody wants to really speak up about it. So it would be nice to think there's somebody on this planet that might be strong enough to be honest with the American people. And if you're out there and you're a leader or a politician, then could you please start speaking up?